I need to move today. Hello everyone and welcome to not just another stream. This is Mael Duin. I play puzzle video games and similar Tuesdays, Thursdays and Fridays from 2 p.m. in Australia East. Very special stream today, as you can see. Today I have BergBerg Games, Laggy and Miriam. Welcome in. How are you?
Very good.
Very good.
Thanks for having us.
Are you nervous? Probably I am more nervous than you. I can assure you. You don't have to worry. If you pass the first part out of the 4, you'll be good. You'll be good. For everyone watching to know what to expect this interview, I will be having a chat, a very friendly chat. It's divided into 4 parts. The first part is what I call icebreaker, and I find it very funny and fitting since you are BergBerg, like iceberg. So this is the icebreaker. For you to get comfortable with the stream and being on camera. Then it will be very short. Questions will be straight to the point, quick answer. Second part, it's before we start playing the demo, because we'll be playing Stig. It will be about questions about you as a studio and how the situation that led to making the game. Third block, I will be playing the demo for Stig that you can find on Steam right now. If you're interested, you have the link at the top of the chat pinned, both on Twitch and YouTube at the top. While I'll be playing the demo, we'll be talking about the game, how every aspect, art, design, engine, everything. And the last part will have more broad questions, more open, more general. Hopefully you'll make it there and you'll see. Also, a friendly reminder that if you have any questions, I'm addressing the audience right now. If you have any questions for BergBerg Games, you can ask your own in the chat. Make sure you add BergBerg so it's easier for me to find them and see them, and I'll ask them your questions at the end. Am I forgetting something before we start? Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah, we don't know.
Okay. First block, it's divided into 4 as well, but you don't have to worry about that. As I said, fast, quick question, fast answer. Whatever comes to mind first, you say that. Okay. And the questions are for both, so I need an answer from each of you. So 2 answers for each question. First video game that you played.
Probably some.
At least that you remember.
I remember we played like Lion King, a PC game.
I played Lion King on the Game Boy. Yeah.
There you go.
So the answer is the same for both. We are okay.
Different Lion King games.
Already breaking the rules. I like it. And at that time, how old were you?
5, maybe.
Yeah, and then I would have been 7, I guess.
My guess always beat me. I was 9 when I played my first video game. And this important question. If we are clean when we get out of the shower, why do we put towels in the washing machine?
Feels good.
Missed a spot, maybe.
I'll get that. As the answer for both, but just for this one. So this is one block. Next block. Favorite video game soundtrack, if you have one, or one that isn't too very often.
Donkey Kong Country 2 soundtrack.
I like your choice. You can't say Stig.
Oh no! Damn it. I'm not sure. I liked Papa too. It was very like minimalistic and similar to Stig's.
I don't know because I haven't played yet, and shame on me.
Oh, you should.
Shame on me. Yes, I know. Name your video game developer idol, someone that you admire. It could be a lead developer, like lead of the studio. Could be a musician. Could be an artist. Someone that is in the industry.
Is Derek Yu the guy who made Spelunky, or am I confusing? He seems like a cool guy, at least. The guy who made Spelunky. I hope I got the name right.
I don't think I have anyone. I feel like I'm still so new in the game developer industry, so I'm really.
That's fine. That's fine. In terms of speedrunning, this is the third question. So in each block, you'll see the third question is very important. In terms of speedrunning, what takes longer to finish? Stig or assembling IKEA furniture?
Oof.
Maybe the hardest question in the whole interview.
Stig takes longer.
Stig takes longer.
But we're really good at assembling IKEA furniture.
We're also quite good at playing Stig at this point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's good. That's good. And definitely be finishing Stig earliest. Third block in this first part. Tell me one hobby of your own.
Other than game development.
I like crafty stuff, like knitting.
And I enjoy making music, I guess. Also not for video games, like all kinds of music. I'm not good at it, but it's a hobby. Yeah.
Interesting. Tell me one fun thing about the other.
One fun thing
about the other.
Not too personal, please. You never looks. You look at each other like you never thought about the other person. Like, do I know you?
Like about your, because we talked about crafty stuff earlier. Like you made a lampshade in our apartment. That's a fun thing.
I think a fun thing about you is that you're really interested in music, so you can do a really difficult music quiz when we have parties.
Interesting. This third question on this third block: anime dubbed or subbed?
Sub. 100% sub.
What? I didn't even get the question.
Subtitles or like dubbed anime.
Aha.
Sub.
Mael Duin, seal of approval. And last three, favorite puzzle video game aside from Stig?
Baba Is You.
Yeah, probably Baba Is You. Yeah.
Baba Is You. Making it hard for me. Favorite non-puzzle video game?
Well, I play Hogwarts Legacy. What was that? 2 years ago, maybe? And I really like Harry Potter. It was really nice.
I was gonna say like Professor Layton, but then that's also a puzzle game.
What about the Slay the Spire?
Oh, Slay the Spire. Yeah, Balatro. Oh my god, Balatro is my drug.
Professor Layton doesn't count as a visual novel. It's more like a puzzle game. And for this first block, very last question, we have French fries, we have French kiss, French omelette, French windows, French manicure, French toast, all nice things. Why the mafia had to be Swedish?
Is the what? Is the mafia Swedish?
Swedish house mafia.
Oh.
Got you.
Good one.
I don't know why they are called mafia. Never understood.
No, me neither.
Probably all the crime. No, I'm kidding.
I don't think so. In Sweden, I don't think so. I'll be surprised. Okay, so you've passed the test. That was the hardest thing. So from here, it's all downhill without breaks. So now, talking about you, about your studio, who is BergBerg? It's the two of you. With collaboration, you do everything.
Yeah. pretty much.
Pretty much, because we've had some help with like music
Mhm.
from my brother.
And do you have specific roles?
Not really.
Like-
we do most of it, both of us.
Yeah, I guess if we need like art assets.
Yeah, like
We've done most.
one likes more like the admin side, the other one is more arty. Like I know Miriam probably is more into design, but you don't share. You do everything together, both.
Yeah, pretty much. I manage the social media. Other than that, we do pretty. And I've done, like, besides your brother, I've done some of the music stuff. You've done none of the music stuff. Otherwise, it's pretty much both do everything. Yeah, collaboration.
And some of the art assets you also do because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm surprised because usually one is more knowledgeable into something, and so they support each other. But it's good. It's good. Is Stig your first game?
Our first game together.
Yeah, first game together and first proper release. Yeah. Done like game jams and stuff before, but nothing like this serious, I think.
First one together. So you mean separated? You've done other games other than game jams? Have you released any other game?
No, not really.
You're closer than me because you have games
Yeah,
out online that people actually play.
yeah, I've done like some, but it's mostly like copies of already existing games that you can play online. So that I've just been using with like colleagues to play for fun and stuff. But not a real game release.
Even if it's on itch.io, it counts as a published game. You self-published it. Why the name Stig? Does it mean anything, or
It does.
maybe it's just
in Swedish.
Mhm.
In Swedish, it's a name, a male name, but it also means path or ascend.
Yeah, but we've debated whether the ascend part is part of the why it's called Stig or not. But it sounds good.
Yeah.
I was wondering because doesn't sound anything to me, and I know I asked this before, so I already know the answer. What's the name of the character? This purple character. Do they have a name? You said Stig. It's a male name,
Yeah.
so the character is male.
No.
No. I don't know. What was it you who suggested purpley?
Yes, yes.
Purpley. Purpley is like non-gender too, so it works.
So, you are making a game together. What brought you to this situation where you are publishing or you are developing a game? How did you end up in this situation? You like games and I can do this, or I can do this and I want to prove myself I can, or there's another reason?
It was like, I don't know, we started playing a lot of puzzle games together, and then we thought like maybe make a puzzle game together, but we hadn't decided a lot. We made it on paper first, right?
Yeah.
But also, like you said, proving that we can, like trying to finish something, because I'd been making like games smaller in Unity before, and like we discussed just prior, like never released anything. Like I have a bunch of projects, mostly with my brother. Back when we lived in the same city, we used to hang out and like make games. But also the fact that you started taking time off from work, like working 80%. And I checked with my employer and was like, is that cool if I do that too? And they were cool with it. So now we have like one day together a week to do a project together. And that's kind of where it started, I think.
I think so too. Since we're both like software developers, it always felt like we should be able to do a game. So it would be a fun project to do together.
Yeah, and obviously we live together and like everything. So that, yeah.
While conceiving the idea of what the game will be or what you wanted it to be, were you thinking of giving it something special, like, I can do this but better? Like, was that one of the motivations for developing the game?
No, not that we can do it better, but like we could make something grid-based without too much work. Like it felt like a grid-based game would be the simplest to do, and the fact that Baba Is You had such depth, like it's grid-based, but it's like so complicated. So we were like, okay, maybe we can make something simpler than Baba Is You, but with like a twist. So make something original, grid-based. Would you agree?
Yeah, I feel like, or I always had like the goal of just finishing something, like doing a proper game from start to finish. Was like enough of a goal for me, I think.
So this was one of the motivations behind the game. What inspired? What the mechanics, the aesthetic? You mentioned already Baba Is You. Any other project that you were thinking of while making it your version?
The first prototype you made on paper, it was like more inspired by Chants of Sennaar, if you know that game. It's like a language game, and a big part of that is that you get a text that you're supposed to translate, but you don't really know how.
Yeah,
I think that's what you were into.
Because you encounter a lot of different weird symbols, and then you need to learn the language, like learn what this symbol means. And I thought that was a really fun idea. So I wanted to do something with like that you need to learn the game yourself, that you kind of don't get any help.
Because the first prototype you gave me was just like, here is a square, like a grid paper, and there was a bunch of symbols, and there was like one square filled in, and you were like, oh, what are you supposed to do here? And I was supposed to figure it out like with a pen, and then it kind of morphed into Stig after a while. But
I know I've seen some images on your social media channels. I think it was Twitter, about this that you are talking about now, like kind of prototype. So if anyone watching wants to know more about the shape that the game had prior to how you are going to watch it now, because we are going to play the demo, if you go to their socials, you'll see what they are referring to. With what we know now, I think we are ready to move on to the demo, if you are happy.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let me start it, and for that I'll move scene. We are going to play the demo for Stig. This demo is already available for you if you want to try yourself on Steam. The link to the Steam page of the game, you can find it pinned on the chat, either on YouTube or Twitch, wherever you are watching from. So let me start. So in no particular order, let me do this one so I explain like the basics, people know how the game works. We can move in a reticle, like square base, and we need to, I'm dressed for the occasion. I am purpley today. As purpley, sorry, I have to call it purpley. As purpley, we move in the colored areas, and we need to replicate the sequence at the top. At the top, there's a square divided into 4. The first row is the sequence that we need to match. So in the second row, we already have the red as a given because we are in the red area. So we need to move on to the blue one, and then we complete the sequence. Probably with the second one, this is the same. So we are in the red, we have the red given. The white area doesn't give us any color. It's like a color-free area. And we enter into the blue one, we complete the sequence. This basic mechanic. This is why I fell in love with the game, because can it get much simpler than this?
Right?
When I saw it, because I have a nose for good design, when I saw this, it's like, I need to bring them to the channel.
Yeah.
I think this one explains a little, you can see. So now you guys can see that the black part, we need to complete that sequence. And then we are in the red, so the red is given. We move on to the green, and then we need the yellow, and then we move on to the blue. and that completes. We don't need the other. So that's our objective is at the top row, and we need to complete the bottom row. Since we are here, why are there branching? That's a question for you. Why is this branching?
We've tried putting like the more difficult ones on the branches, and then I don't know if you get there in the demo, but like you need a certain amount of the like leaf ones on the branches to progress. There's like a lock, and you need to have the certain amount, but we figured maybe some of the hard ones are too hard, and maybe some people are good at some and not so good at the others. So it's like a option. So you have to complete some of them, but not all. It's like a way to make it hard, but be fair.
So you can still continue on the main path, but if you want more challenge, to restart is R, because I made a mistake. I make many mistakes. If they are locked, I don't know. I don't remember, because I played, for everyone watching, maybe what you find, it won't look as my demo, because I played it probably when it was released, April or so. Maybe it wasn't new. It was already released, but I played it like 5-6 months ago. And then if there was any lock and I unlocked it, maybe it's gone now. So it's not showing, just for viewers to know. And lucky for me, I don't remember the solutions. So I'll be here all night, all day, or whatever the time is in your zone. So now we need the green, but from the green we need to get to the blue. Okay, maybe I need to go forward. Red, yellow, and then red. But I don't want to go back. I want to go forward. Let me try this side. So from here, red. Let me go here, because seems like more things available for me. So yellow, red, green. So we have this green with yellow. This green doesn't have. We are not looking for this green. It seems we can't get in these ones. Maybe this one.
I think this is the first level. That's a bit of a challenge for people. It's also like the first level where we can see that people understand the rules. Because the first levels are so like simplistic or easy, so they kind of just rush through them. But here they actually
have
take
to
a
understand,
break and like, okay, now I get the objective of the game.
Whoa!
It really shows that they are a little bit more challenging. So I think they were locks in the main path, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, in the main parts, all of these levels will not be green, so you can only play the level next to the one that you already played.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have deleted the progress.
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine also.
Yeah.
What's the counter at the top, right? The 5?
That's the amount of these little flower levels. You can see 3.1 and 5.1, 6.2. Every time you clear one of those, you get a little flower.
Because they are like hardest levels, so you get a reward for them.
Like, I should know, because I've already played. But I like that. Looks like I'm asking you for you to explain, but also for me, because I don't remember. So, very important question. Doesn't have a story, or is there a story?
There might be a story, but you need to finish the whole game to get it.
Yeah. But we're quite happy with the fact that there is so little text. I think that's one of the attributes of the game, that you figure it out. We show some little instructions, like how you move and stuff, but I don't think that would be necessary, even almost.
Did you find it challenging to give it a closure to the game without having a story?
Yeah, kind of. What do you think?
I don't know. I think it's not always necessary for a game to have a story, because I think humans are pretty good at like inventing their own meaning and everything. Like we just put two like straight lines on a square and people see a face there. So I think, yeah, you can kind of make up your own story, and that can also be enough.
I'm asking because I want to know your opinion. I also agree. You don't need a plot or a story. You can give it like a climax through the mechanics of the game itself. So clearly, I'm not doing well because you shouldn't be here. And how was this made? This is not Unity. What engine is made the game?
Yeah, it's no engine really. It's just JavaScript, pretty much. React, JavaScript web framework.
You mean like?
So like usually you use it just for making
not like Formula? But it I don't understand. No engine.
Basically, it's a website with a grid layout. So every element on the board is like a little grid in the website, I guess you could say. But we package it for an executable for Windows.
And I guess it started just because we're both like web developers, so that's kind of like the technology that we know the best. So in the beginning we were like, oh, let's just do a prototype quick. So we used the tech stack that we know, and then we kind of never switched and just kept it.
So this is made on React, and React is to make websites.
Yes.
I'm understanding correct. Okay. 5. How did you end up with these aesthetics? Was it after many tries? Did you go straight to this aesthetic?
I think the colors were there from the start, obviously the grid was there from the start, and we wanted vector graphics, or I wanted vector graphics, like not pixel art. Both because like what is the easiest to make something look kind of good or like coherent at least. Like if everything looks the same, then it kind of becomes an art style. But then we added the eyes on the characters and the rounded corners and stuff. I think that kind of made it look a little better.
Yeah, but part of it is kind of from necessity, I would say, the art style, because none of us are like designers. We wanted to keep it quite minimalistic.
It is all very minimalistic, and I like that. Was it more of a challenge or more of an advantage to have it as minimalistic?
I think both. In some cases, it's like, okay, we want a new mechanic. How can we make an icon for the mechanic that fits with the art style? So it has to be minimalistic and simple, but we've already used like a cross and an arrow and a plus sign. Like what's left? A circle and a square with rounded corners. We have those. What's left? So that took some like ingenuity and. But in general, when making an icon and you have to make it this simple, it's like you don't have that many options, so it's like easier to make stuff with the constraints and the rules. It's like easier to come up with something, I think.
Yeah, and I guess it puts more pressure on like the content, so that it doesn't get like boring because it's so simple. Like marketing. Maybe been a bit difficult because it doesn't look super flashy or fancy. You kind of need to play it to get what it's about.
I'll be asking you about marketing because it's, I think, more general, but since you mentioned it, it's tricky, right? Marketing, because it's technical, but it's subjective as well. Because you say it's not flashy. It is flashing to me. It is. I am attracted to this aesthetic and the simplicity, visually and mechanically. So it from the marketing perspective, I think it's tricky, but you'll tell me your experience.
I think there are people like you and like me and us who like this, but I think we're in the minority. Like if I look at Twitter and Blue Sky and the socials, and I see like what's popping off, like it's usually 3D or pixel art, a lot of like fancy shaders and cool like water effects and stuff like that. So it's like this. It has a less likelihood of going viral, I think, if you make something minimalistic vector art.
Maybe it's also like that our target audience is like a bit niche. So it's not like the whole gaming community want to play Stig. So you need to kind of find that target audience. And that is tricky.
And also like the socials in general are so overpopulated. There's so many games, like how can you possibly stick out? Like marketing only on Twitter is like, I don't know.
Sunflower in the chat is with me. We are making the minority less minority.
Nice. Shout out Sunflower.
I think I'm going to be here for a while. This is one of the branching, so it shows. It really shows.
Yeah, I remember you did this level, and then you wanted me to try it out.
Talking about making levels, what's your process for conceiving?
The process has evolved over time, but we were pretty early with making a level editor. It's like a very basic UI that we wouldn't like let players into, but we can use ourselves, like a lot of like just a button that does a very specific thing, and we put a bunch of buttons everywhere and stuff. So we have a level editor, and then you made the brute force script. So the process at this point is like finding a combination of mechanics that we don't have already, like this button and this pushable thing, and what if we throw them in a level together, and then we just make something. Maybe I give it to you, you try it out once, and then we put the brute force script on it that like tests all possible solutions. And sometimes, or most of the times, that comes up with like a shortcut, something that we didn't think of, like, oh, you can hack the game in this way. So then you have to like tweak, run the brute force script, tweak it, run the brute force script, and then kind of feedback loop until the brute force script comes up with the solution that we want. Then we know like it's pretty much impossible to do something easier than what we think.
So this brute force script runs in React, but doesn't make the level, doesn't tell you you can. It's just for you to close doors that you don't want open, kind of.
Yeah, basically it takes a level file kind of and gives out like a list of instructions, like up, down, left, up, down, and then you have to kind of try it yourself or run it automatically, like watch it play, and you can see, oh no, it like took a shortcut there. Like I didn't want that to be able to happen. And then...
Yeah, so usually we just run the brute force script and then we like plug it in the game and like make it play it automatically. So you need to sit and watch it, and then you're like, oh shoot, it came up with a shortcut, and then you need to redo it.
It's like making your own playtester.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But a really good playtester. The smartest playtester.
Yeah. But then we also have had the playtesters, friends and family help us to try out the levels.
The brute force script doesn't tell you if a level is fun or not. It just tells you the solution.
I think I get this. No, I need the yellow here. The yellow next to the blue. This is not branching.
No.
This is not branching. It's just me. Because if as a Sokoban game, this is basic mechanic. You push, but this is one of those Sokoban games when you push something, it's like on ice. It goes all the way. So I can only push it left or down. But if I push it down, I remove the blue. Interesting.
Yeah, I think this is the first level where we introduced the coloring rocks. Yeah.
Yeah, all of the things that you find in the game have like names, internal names that we don't tell. So this is the paint rock, or kind of.
Which is quite heavily used in some core mechanics, I would say.
Found the trick. So you told me how you generate or come up with the levels, but the levels are a result from the mechanics. So mechanics are first, and from the mechanics, combining them, that's what I understood. Tell me if I'm wrong. From the mixing the mechanics, you create the levels. You have like mechanic A and mechanic B. What happens if I put them together? So we have one level with A, one level with B, and one level with A and B. So
exactly.
How do you come up with mechanics? Usually it's like, I have 20 and then I keep the 2 or 3 that play better, or what's the process there? So I'm going backwards. You said how you generate the levels. How do you come up with the mechanics?
I think it's like been quite easy. It's kind of like the more we work with the game, you get ideas during the way.
And obviously some are lifted from like other games, like it's a Sokoban game, so like there's stuff that you push around that made sense. But then like yes, some you just come up with, some come to me in a dream, I guess. No, but like but then like you said, we keep the ones that are good, that the ones that interact good with other mechanics. If we make a mechanic and we try making levels with like this one and the other one, and then they just don't work together, like it doesn't become fun, there's no interesting twist. If there's one mechanic that we can't come up with interesting twists for like 5 other mechanics in combination, then it doesn't really do anything. It would just make one level, and that would be really weird, having like an introduction of a new concept and then the concept disappears next level. So we scrap those. Since
we are few people, I think I can break myself a rule for the stream and ask the chat questions. Sunflower is asking how many levels are there and how big or how long. It's like in terms, I believe in terms of time, like 2-hour game, 20-hour game.
Good question.
Yeah.
In the full game, I think in the demo there's 15 or 20 levels or something.
I think there's just 12 or maybe 15. Yeah.
And in the full game there's 102 or something like that.
Yeah. But we're still like not 100% in, huh?
You said 200?
No, 100.
100? Still.
Yeah, that was our goal. We wanted to be able to say we made more than 100.
Yeah. So the Steam page right now says 100 plus levels, because we're still like tweaking the final ones. Maybe 1 or 2 will get cut, or maybe we'll add 1 more, but around 100. And what does it take to complete? 2 hours? 3 hours?
It's kind of hard to say, because we haven't like had anyone play it like in one go.
No.
From start to finish, but I would guess maybe 2 hours.
Something like that.
2 hours will be like 5 for me.
Yeah, I think for sure it could be a lot longer than that. Like when we have had playtesters, we have seen that some take a really long time on some levels, and others see it directly. So it depends a lot on how much you've played video games and stuff like that.
Talking before about the mechanics, did you come up with a mechanic that it was too complex? Like, it's a good mechanic, I like it, but the game is minimalistic. I want it to be simple, so I have to sacrifice this one, because even though I like it personally, I don't think it belongs to this game.
Yeah, I'm thinking about one mechanic that we didn't pick, but not sure that was why.
Wait, which?
But it was a bit, with the doors and the colors.
Oh, right, yeah. But that was like, maybe because it was too difficult to implement and too difficult to explain. Yeah, maybe that was because it was too complicated. Like in the art style, it would be too hard to have people make sense of what it was. Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, we did have a list of like potential mechanics, and we haven't implemented all of those because we also thought that, oh, we don't need more now. It's kind of enough because you didn't want the game to be like too big either. So, yeah.
I remember this one. I don't remember the solution, but I remember it took me some time.
This is one where a lot of people struggle. Like from what we've seen from playtesters, this is one of the hardest ones.
Yeah, and that was a good lesson for us, I think, because we didn't think it was gonna be that difficult. But then when we saw people playing it,
because it's so easy when you know it. It's like one of those, like it's just a little trick that you have to do, and it's really hard to come up with it. But when you see it, you can't unsee it. It's like really hard for us to see if a level is going to be hard or not.
I remember wanting to push the blue one through here because it's what the sequence is asking, and I remember not being able to come up with the blue ball here where the character is. And I'm still thinking now I can't find, and trying very weird things like I always do. Like, no, sometimes it happens to me. Now I'm speaking in name of the playtester community. You focus on one thing you want to do and your mind gets stuck there, like trying to come up with something that you want, and what you want is not the solution. So until you release yourself from the burden of wanting to do that, you won't be able to look to the other side and then see the solution is the other way. So maybe I'm trying to push, like here, if two balls get together, they are locked. Now you can't move them in this situation. So that's no way. But this is same. This doesn't help. Lage, you said that you like making music before, right? But you didn't make the music for the game.
It's kind of 50-50. So this song that you're listening to now, I made this one. But Miriam's brother studied music at university, like specifically games music too. So most of the music or some of the music is made by him, and those songs are better. But okay, maybe this is not something we say, I don't know, but he did it as a favor for us. So it felt really weird to force him to we need more songs, make them faster or whatever. It's okay, maybe I make a song or two here and there to just fill it out.
Got it. I remember, yes.
Nice.
So you both together made the music. What were the instructions between you? Like the theme, we are looking for this type of music.
I'm looking for kind of spacey music, I would call it.
Spacey? Like space?
Spacey, a lot of space in it, like breathing room.
Okay.
Not too dense, if you know what I'm saying.
I thought you meant
sci-fi. No.
Hans Zimmer to the extreme, like you are right. Out there in space.
No, but room to breathe, because you're gonna be listening to it for a long time, if you're struggling. So it's it has to be kind of minimal and in the background, not take over, not something that you become super bored of. I know a few people have commented on the loop is too long. There's one song for too long in the game.
I think it works. And that's just my opinion. Maybe for another one, they'll say, "Oh, it's too boring or too simple." Or for me, it works. And it really, now that you say, now I can't unhear the space.
Yeah, right.
And it helps because it doesn't make it repetitive. I don't know how that works. For me, this music is like the hook repeating. So I don't need anything else. And it's the good part. It's not heavy, it's not saturated, not annoying. For me, at least this song, it works.
Yeah, the only change that I made kind of is that the melody fades out in parts, so there's just drums in certain sections, or the tambourine thing, like the.
We're talking about the music. Like if you buy the full game, you will see like that we have different themes in different parts of the game, and that's also reflected in the music. So we want the feeling of it to be different, and the colors and everything kind of.
Green, so I need to cross. I've crossed, and then I get the blue.
I think this is the biggest level in the demo, at least, like dimensions wise.
But I can't. I see. So if I leave through here, through the bottom, counts as green. But if I join here, I don't think it will count as green. So I needed to do that before. Mel, you are slow. But now I can't cross. So I get the blue. Yes. I get the blue, but I can't cross. So I should have moved it before. Mael, you are very slow. You should have done this before. And now it counts as green and blue. And now I can cross to the other side without counting. Don't forget the blue. And then red. Yes.
Nice.
I think internally in like the code, a lot of the levels are called something. Connect the with the and that's this is one of those.
You didn't name your. So internally, I don't know, but within the game, many puzzle games, I don't know if it's a trend or I don't know. Some do good, some do not so good. Naming the levels, and I say they do good because they have a name that's related to the mechanic, and it kind of gives you a clue, which is nice. But I've played other games; they give you the straight answer, and I was like, I don't want to see this corner of the screen because I want to have my time thinking about it. So, did you name, not in the game, but internally, the levels?
I think that's there's like two reasons why we didn't, or at least for me. You can like fill in if you have any more points, but the like you talk about, like we would have to come up with a name that's good but doesn't give it away. Like it's become an extra dimension of like, oh, this level is too easy just because the name is bad. Like now we don't have to think about that. We have one less place where we could potentially screw up. So I think the game is better without the names. And also we would, if we have translation, and if we we've managed to keep the text to such a minimum, it feels bad to introduce like a whole sentence to every level. It would introduce a lot more text.
Yeah, and that would increase the workload needed if you want to translate it into like Spanish, for example. That would take a lot more time. But it's been really helpful for us, I think, as well, to have an ID for the levels, at least internally. Because in the beginning, I think we only had like the numbers in which they appear. But then we've switched around levels a lot. So it's helped that we actually have like a proper name for each level, so we can like talk about them and like, oh, what do you think about this level?
I also think that I saw it must have been on GDC or GMTK, the Game Makers Toolkit YouTube channel, or GDC, like the Game Developer Conference. Like somewhere I heard someone say that a good puzzle level can be explained, like with a simple sentence, like what's the twist, what's the concept. So you, in some cases, you come up with the concept first, like use this to, and then you can just build a level that has that concept kind of. Do you think the game would have benefited from names? Or
No. I think it's the right decision not to have any names. In general, in all puzzle games, usually it's something hard to do right, and it's an extra work that maybe is not necessary. In specifically this game, it clearly doesn't need because it's minimal. The less is more applies here. How can we get the green? Oh wait, I just acquired this new mechanic, which is the cross, that removes all the sequence, but we get the blue.
Yeah, this cross was a good mechanic to come up with. It like introduced a whole new dimension, because in the beginning you had to. We don't want codes that are longer than 8. I think the longest one might be 10 or 12 or something, but that's like an exception. Like most of them are as short as possible to give the concept that we want. But like if the code fills in all the way from the start, then you can't really set up stuff without also making the code really long. So with the cross, you can like walk around freely, do whatever you need, and then just clear, and then do like 2 or 3 colors.
Do you have a limit for undo? Maybe this internal technical question.
I think
We do.
Yeah.
But it's quite high.
Because
100?
100 is fine.
One critique we got was that you can't undo a restart. And that's like technically impossible with the implementation we have now. We would need to redo a lot to be able to undo a restart, I think.
What do you mean? I can't undo and restart?
If you restart accidentally, you can't undo the restart.
Oh yes, I get it. Yeah. So if I restart now, it won't take me to is resetting completely.
Yeah.
It's like a hard
I've
reset.
seen worse. Because maybe I'm talking too fast in here, because the level is constrained, like kind of small. I don't know, in the end game, maybe it occupies the whole screen, and then I'll need to redo and undo many. But here, if you redo by accident, which has happened to me, it's so small that I can get to the previous situation quite quickly.
Yeah, I think that's like our main reason for not implementing that. When we got the feedback, we were like, yeah, we think it's fine.
Green. And then, you know what I would like to see? Like if I had a big hole where I could see secrets, and I would like to see it, but at the same time, maybe it will be pointless. Designs of the main character, like iterations. You've been through, like, oh, I want it to be like this, but we can, and then this, but it's simple. That seems, once I was told simple is not easy, but because it's simple, looks easy, and looks like you came up with the design of the main character. This I named it Purpley. Like the first iteration was this.
I think there are a few iterations, but none of them were really in the game. On paper, there are more. So in the beginning, in my like dream aesthetic for the game, it was like a little boy. I think looked like Ness from the like Super Smash Bros. Games, or I guess he has his own game from the Mother series, Ness. He looked like Ness, and he was in a castle for some reason. And then there was one version where it was more like Baba Is You. It was like a little rabbit or a cat or something. But then that didn't look good, and it was like, okay, either I need to improve my drawing skills, or we make it a square. So then it was like a blue square for a while, and then I think we landed on this.
I forgot it was blue in the beginning.
It was like turquoise kind of.
Yeah.
Was it easy or difficult to handle puzzle noise in such a minimal, simplistic puzzle design, a level design? Like, there are so few elements that if I put an alien in the level, it's going to show.
Yeah, I guess we try to be quite strict with to not have unnecessary noise in the levels. But then like sometimes we can or need it, so it doesn't feel like too boring of a level, can it?
But all the symbols and the characters and like everything like that is very simple, like not noisy. And then with the puzzles themselves, we use the brute force script again. Like, okay, can I like remove a whole column from this grid? What happens then? Oh, then it can shortcut it like this. Okay, then I need to add some stuff. But we try to like trim away at the levels without making them easy to like a trick. But it's definitely been a goal to keep them as minimal. Oh, nice.
I made it for the second time, and you know when they say, I wish I could play this game for the first time. This is my, again, it's my second first time because I didn't remember anything.
Ah, you did good.
Now I
That was
can,
fast.
we can't do anymore. I finished the demo, but I haven't finished my questions. I was too focused on playing. Sorry, not sorry. I haven't finished my questions, all that I wanted to ask about. And one very important, this is a very colorful game. Like it's very important, the use of color, how that works from the accessibility point of view.
Oh, maybe we can look. Could you bring up the menu and see the settings?
And I'm going to graphics maybe.
Yeah, graphics. This has also been a debate among us, like if we should have an accessibility or something menu, or if it's graphics. We can't really decide where it belongs. But
Am I
Yes.
activating high contrast and color blindness mode?
yeah, you can do both.
Both?
We can try maybe one.
One at a time.
One
Yeah,
at a
sure.
time.
So this is turning my screen black. I don't know if that's correct.
Yeah, it's correct.
I activated color blindness mode.
Mhm.
Yeah, see if you open up a level now.
You are answering without answering. I like your. I like how you do it.
Hmm.
So now
We
it's regardless of the color. Now the color is shapes or patterns. So you don't really
we tried. We've done different iterations of the patterns as well. I think we posted about it on like r/colorblind. There's a whole subreddit for people who are colorblind. So we posted some screenshots there and got some feedback.
That was really helpful. It's kind of hard to imagine how it will look like if you're not colorblind. So having people actually try it out was really helpful.
Yeah. This solution is brilliant.
Thanks. Yeah, we have the high contrast mode. I know people have suggested like fully remappable colors would probably be like the ideal solution for everyone, like customize everything, but it's like a bit difficult. And also, since we have these different themes, like the second world is supposed to be the water level or something, so it's more blues and more kind of different colors and stuff. And if people customize the colors before they see the second world, they won't get to experience this without. They might like change out the colors beforehand and like not get the full experience. So we try to do the high contrast mode as some kind of middle ground.
Yeah, and I know at least one of our test players actually liked this mode the best. So he always plays in high contrast mode. It's a bit more like black and white and
stripped down.
Yeah.
I know nothing about accessibility, so this is. I don't know how it affects a player who will appreciate this.
Yeah, I think this mode, the high contrast mode, is good. Like, also if you're just like outside in bright sunshine, or like.
Yeah, have a bad screen for some reason.
Yeah.
It could help with people who just have a problem seeing the game for whatever reason. Yeah.
And this
or if you want dark mode, because this one is dark.
This never got into conflict because this is just the beginning of the game. If the game gets more complex, any of these modes got into conflict with the mechanics. Like we want to, like we got the cross. The cross, it's in the demo. It's a mechanic. Maybe we have a look. The cross will be overlapping the pattern.
It's a good point. I'm realizing now, like, have we played the whole game, like every single level with colorblind mode? I'm not sure.
No, I don't think all the levels, but we've had levels with a lot of mechanics, and then for sure we have the issue that it's a lot of stuff happening if you have colorblindness mode.
Like you said, visual noise.
Yeah. So that's kind of been a necessary evil, I guess, with that mode. So we've had them come up with better solution than what we have right now.
All the mechanics, maybe I'm asking too far in advance, maybe we cannot know now, but all the mechanics that I've seen are symbols, like kind of on the floor, but the patterns are grayish, so always it's more prominent, the mechanic, rather than the pattern.
It should be, yeah.
Yeah, that was the aim. Yeah.
And also the ball is patterned. Oh, because it's the same color. Yes, makes sense. It's the pattern of the same color which it belongs to. I only have on my notes one more question. Because the character is purple, I thought maybe it would be related between the name and the color. It was intertwined in the design about the gender of the character. Doesn't mean anything, or why purple and not other color? If you are thinking that now, it means the answer is a no. The answer is a no.
Yeah.
You're giving away yourself.
We put red, green, blue, and yellow as the colors, and then we needed something that contrasts with those, and it was like, oh, purple.
Yeah.
It makes sense. If you are using on the tiles more primary colors. Yeah. We have sound effects? I think so. Yes. I'm checking live right now.
The sound effects.
And the cross. We have the cross.
Yeah, I think the cross does the same like clicky sound that when you press buttons in the menu, I think.
It's like that.
Also the reset sound. I like the reset sound.
Did you have a hard time making the sounds? Like you were kind of picky, or you got to the first few iterations? I like this. It doesn't need more work.
I think maybe the moving around sound was the most tricky one, because you hear it so often, like every time you move. So we kind of needed it to be good.
Yeah, but most of the sounds I think are from this software called Splice. It's like a royalty-free. I think it is for music producers, but they have a lot of like movie scoring sound effects. So they have like all of this. So I think like the undo sound is like someone blowing a bottle or something, like a floop, floop, right? So we found it like on there. And since you can kind of search on there, you can. I was like, oh, maybe it could be someone blowing a bottle, and I like search for blow bottle, and then just like, does this one work? Does this one work? Like I had a bunch of sounds to pick from. So I think we kind of just listened together and like what sounds good. But then you improved the walking sound with the pitch.
Yeah, because I think it was your idea that we could change the pitch slightly when you're walking around, so it's not like the exact same sound every time. It changes slightly, and I think that helped a lot to make it a bit more.
I don't think you notice it, but like you feel it.
Yeah,
I was going to say I don't. Maybe if I'm paying attention, but if you are just playing normally, you wouldn't pay so much attention to that.
No.
Not that it's necessary, but
I think it's good that you don't pay attention to it. If it was like the same, maybe you would, or not sure.
Or maybe it's just us that got annoyed with it.
It adds a bit of polish.
I believe that's all I can ask. I think I asked everything, honestly. Anything else you would like to mention that I missed, maybe? The flowers?
Yeah, how did we come up with the flower?
I'm not sure. I think I want to say like we came up with the theme of plants, but I think that was after we had the flower.
Yeah, I think it was early on. We just wanted to add something more a bit polished, because it was too minimalistic. So.
Maybe we had stars at some point, but the stars are single color. it's like more fun when they're yellow in the middle and has a color around. Like it become more colorful if every icon has 2 colors.
And we wanted to be able to reuse the like primary colors that we have in the levels. We were like, what can have a lot of different colors? How it's worked.
It's the only thing I believe in the game that I found, or that at least that I remember, that it represents something. Because other than that, it's lines and symbols like a cross, a circle. Like doesn't really mean something, but a flower represents a flower. It's something that you find in real world, albeit it's an abstraction, but it's interesting. Like why a flower? Why not an animal?
I hadn't thought about it like that, but when you say it, it's like the only thing that's something you can find in real life. Yeah,
it's like it's now I'm pointing out. You wouldn't notice maybe playing normally, like, oh yes, nice decoration, but maybe I was trying to pull you like, yeah, there's a theme and we try to talk about the story because at some point there was a story, but no. I'm just trying too hard. This is the end of the 3rd part. We continue then with the 4th block. I would like to give my opinion on the demo, even though I already played it before. When I think of preparing these interviews, I'm thinking I'm playing these demos for the first time. So it's like first impressions, but I'll give my opinion anyway. What I loved and why I put my eyes on the game is the simplistic side of the game, and how I haven't seen the whole game, but I can imagine, because I have a nose for design, this getting deeper and more complex within the simplicity, and that spells love to me. Like, how can you do so much with so little? And everything that you said about the game, it confirms my previous opinion. Everything is about simplicity and everything works. The music, you talk about the music, it works the way it is. The character, the mechanics, I haven't seen only 2, the ball and the painting ball. Actually 3. Moving through colors is 1 mechanic, the painting ball is 2nd mechanic, maybe the cross is the 3rd, in my opinion. So out of these 3 mechanics, I can see you've shown me enough to believe, say, one way. So my questions for you now, my first question for you, what's the hardest part of the development?
Because it's been really helpful to be 2 people helping out, and you always have someone to ask for ideas and stuff. But it also means that you need to convince the other person when you want to do stuff.
Okay.
That's right.
Is that the hardest
part?
part?
No, that's not the hardest.
Am I that difficult? Yeah. I was gonna say like, well, yeah, that is hard, yeah, for sure. But like on the technical side, it's like we've made the box for ourselves to like limit scope. Like, okay, work inside the box, like try and put constraints, but then like realizing, okay, it doesn't look good, like adding polish to something with the minimal tools we have, like just the way that everything slides around, the way that's implemented in the code is like quite complex, and being able to reverse that in a good way, and like those technical problems were quite difficult.
Maybe also a bit like keeping motivation up.
Yeah.
At least I feel like I'm not the kind of person who gets like super nerdy and can like be into something for years and years. So it's been quite easy, I guess.
Yeah.
To see at least.
But it felt like a good duration of a project, like below a year. We haven't fizzled out and like put it on the shelf yet, so that feels good. Yeah.
Your answer looks like, what's the hardest part? Making a game is the answer.
Yeah.
I didn't ask, actually, now that you say that. How long have you been working on the game?
Since pretty much January. A few days between Christmas and New Year's last year. So like 11 months and a little bit, yeah. 11
months now. Maybe because of the AAA industry, when I think of game development, I tend to think like, oh no, this thing takes years. But then on the other side, we have game jams, takes 3 days. I find it very interesting that your answer wasn't marketing, because usually, in general, usually marketing is the answer for what's the hardest part. So, do you find it easy, or what's your experience with marketing the game?
I think like first, we've been lucky. I think like with the, or well, maybe not luck, but the whole when the game was only on itch, like the part that's the demo now was kind of the prototype before, and that was like on itch.io first, and then there was some like blog posts about it on like a weird gaming blog like that we didn't know about. That felt like just pure luck, like someone played it on random on itch and wrote about it. That like drove up the traffic, and then when we made the Steam page, we could link to the Steam page from the itch page, bringing some of those people over, I think. And then the Cerebral Puzzle showcase in like May was a big spike in wishlists on Steam. Like that's one.
Maybe I found you there. Maybe that's when I found you in the Cerebral Puzzle.
Probably, and then and then we like did sporadic posts on Reddit before, and then started with social media in like June, July. So we were quite late on that, and that's something I feel like in hindsight we should have made a Twitter account and stuff. Maybe made YouTube videos earlier, because it's more fun to see the big progress at the start than to see like these little small polish changes that we're doing now. Like, but yeah, I feel like wishlists, they've just gone up like a few a week, one every other day, and it kind of trickles up slowly. So
yeah, but it feels like in the beginning we just wanted to do something that we liked,
and
like just put it out on Steam so we can say that we're game developers. But then when you kind of see that people seem to like it, then you kind of, maybe we should do some more marketing and stuff like that.
We don't want to release the game and then in hindsight be like, we should have done this and this. I think that was like the main motivator of even starting a Twitter account in the first place, was like, but what if we had made a Twitter account? Like, I don't want to have that question in the back of my mind. It's better to just go with it and see what happens.
My advice for everyone, and I am not a game developer, but for the experience of others, I can only transmit their opinion, and they are developers. When you make a game, start marketing day zero. Start marketing your game day zero. Marketing is not something you do at the end. It's something you do throughout the development. Very interesting. So good to know your experience for others. And you are marketing your game for a puzzle game market. How do you find this market? Like, is it crowded to you? Is it an opportunity? Is both or nothing?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. But like, there are people like you who play puzzle games pretty much exclusively. Like, there are YouTube channels that are like, I do puzzle games. I don't know if there are like exclusive deck building YouTube channel or exclusive roguelike YouTube channel. Like, it feels like puzzle game is a niche, and if you can find people there, it's like easier. Like, maybe it's a smaller amount of people, but a higher percentage are interested once they see you, kind of. Like you did the what's it called, hacker newsletter? No, hacker news. They had some kind of email list thing, and since it's like a thinky game made in a web framework, we kind of like, we were allowed to be in their newsletter, like stuff like that. Like, if you make a niche game in a niche technology, you might be able to post on a subreddit that you couldn't otherwise. Like, stuff like that has helped us. But like we talked about earlier, like it's not that flashy 3D cool pixel art shader heavy thing. Like, social media in general might be harder. I don't know. I'm just
we've also posted about it in like React forums, and that's also been really fun to just show other people what you can do in it and inspire others to do the same.
I don't know this React. The way you talk about it in this interview and before I've read about, you kind of describe it like the first time I saw Doom playing on Excel, on Microsoft Excel. Kind of like, it's not meant for this, but I did this cool thing that you can do this with this other software.
I would say it's not like Doom on Excel is super hard mode, like that's the next level, but it's like it's a general tool for doing whatever. So saying it's not made for making games is weird because obviously they had controller support. You could use like built-in functionality to get controller inputs, which says something about what they want you to do with it.
And it's not like we're the first people to make it.
No.
People have done it.
Yeah.
It would
not
be
the most, maybe.
Sorry, it would be cool to tell people that, like, a way of marketing your game. I did this with React, but the problem is that people don't know React, maybe, or only few. And since you are talking to a puzzle game community, it's like two different sides. They don't belong together. It would be a cool thing if they knew, but hopefully from this interview they know more. So you are getting into a puzzle video game market. Did you think of, I think I kind of asked this at the beginning, did you think of more like, I want my game to be highlighted this way so it stands out from the crowd with this feature or this way? Was this an intention in the beginning? Like, put it this other way. Maybe you think that the puzzle video game market is crowded and it's hard to, yet another Sokoban game. So how do you approach this problem or situation if you don't see it as a problem?
I guess the colorfulness and the vector art, like the art style, is something that makes it unique, even though it was like also because it was easier for us to do it that way. But it's like, it's easier and it gives us a niche. But I don't know if we thought beforehand about making something unique.
No, not really. I feel like we're so new to marketing, so we don't really know what we're doing.
No.
And I've kind of thought before, like, let's just do something we like, and if it's good, people will find it. I don't think that's true, but
I mean, a lot of people say like the first step to market a good game is like make a good game. So, but obviously we wanted unique mechanics, but we didn't think beforehand. Yeah, we wanted to release a game that was like priority one, and then if we could make something cool that people like, visually appealing and whatever, that's like second.
Yeah, fair enough. And it's our first game, and like we can learn from this.
Yeah.
The game stands out to me, or it did when I first found it, and it was through the visuals. The game told me, I am simple, and I am happy with that. I'm not specifically looking for simple, but I'm looking for good design, and it's simple, it's good design. And when I played it, because it was calling me through the visuals, telling me I am simple, let me show you. And when it showed me it could be complex, and that's when I realized, match, it's low. When I saw this good design, so maybe that is, this information is valuable to you, so you can maybe show more of that. Don't be scared. Don't be scared of, it's because my game is not 3D, it's going to fail. People will find you in many ways. You only have to be there for them. I don't believe in luck. I believe in you being where you need to be for people to find you. That's how you make your own life.
Thank you. That's nice to hear.
Yeah, definitely nice.
I believe this is all from me in regards of the interview. We haven't finished. There's still a little surprise, but I need to ask. You are releasing Stig on this month. Actually, I was going to say next month, but we are already on the 1st of November. On the 20th releases. What's beyond Stig?
We don't know.
No, it's a difficult question. We haven't really decided. I've been toying around with an idea of maybe making a series of pitches. That's like my head theory right now for what I will be doing next. Is like we come up with different game ideas and then we pitch them before we make them to see which one people like the most. Because before we made something that we liked, but maybe now we should, like you said, market from day 0, maybe market from day -10. Market before we even have the idea to see what people think. Could be fun, I think.
Yeah, And we have at least one idea for a new game. So I'm sure we will come up with more.
I heard about the idea from some YouTuber the other day of someone pitching to streamers, but I don't think we have that kind of reach. So that's what I was like, oh, maybe we just put it out there and see what people resonates with.
Because you are web developers, you are not video game developers. So I am glad that you said that you are thinking on going forward, because that Stig hasn't been released yet. So that might mean that your experience making the game was positive. So you are happy to repeat. My advice would be for releasing the game, don't have any expectations. Whatever has to come will come, regardless of you desiring more or expecting to get to this level of whatever, wish list, sales, revenue, whatever. It doesn't change what you expect. Just let it come.
We won't go into personal bankruptcy over this, so it's good.
It would be different, I have to say. If you were making games and you are making games for a living, it would be a big deal, a deal breaker to be successful. But in your case, safely I can say that. Don't have any expectation and just enjoy the experience. And learn from your own experience. The next one will be better. Which platforms is releasing Stig? I know Steam.
It's just Steam.
It's just Steam.
Yeah. Maybe now that you mention it, maybe we should like put up the full version, a paid full version on each. I haven't even thought about it, but it's just Steam otherwise.
Starting on Steam and then see how it's received. See how it goes.
I don't know, because again, I'm not releasing games, but I believe if you release on itch, for example, or Good Old Games, or different platforms, like the game is the same, shouldn't be difficult to release it on other platforms. But there are platforms that get a smaller cut from the sale than Steam. So, for example, compared to itch.io, maybe it's convenient to also release it. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, we look into it. Yeah.
So that's completely it. Only one question remains, and you'll see why only one. So this is the moment for the special question or the guest question, because I don't know if you know where I'm going. Good. It's good that you didn't see the end of the previous interview, so I get to explain this to you and everyone watching. This is the guest question. It means two things. You have the opportunity to ask one question. Could be anything. To my next guest. It could be, what did you have for breakfast today? Or it could be video game related, preferably, since this is about games. At the same time, this is not the first interview, this is the second one. So my previous guest had a question for you. So you think about what you want to ask my future guest. And when I have this incognito guest, I'll be telling them about you and your game. Do you have your question?
I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. My question is this. You are making your dream game, and during the development, a game comes out that is the exact same. It's your dream game. It's already out. What do you do?
Okay, that was better. So let's go with that one.
Very good and very interesting, very fun question. The only thing is they'll have to put in this situation. Not like we know in advance they've been through this situation. If you were...
right, yes. If hypothetical.
If someone stepped on your idea, what would you do?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll ask them that, and then I'll tell them about you and your game. Oh, also, your next game has to be a puzzle game.
Oh, so it's decided already. Okay.
Because I don't want to let you guys go. My previous guest was Jeremy from Laughing Manatee Games, and it's a team of two. Jeremy, who was present in the live stream, together with Otto, they came up with this question: what's the funniest bug that you encounter while developing Stig. While you think, because to allow you time to think about it, I'll tell the audience that they are developing Puzzle Depot. It's a Sokoban game, which is kind of like the opposite to Stig. It's also a Sokoban game, same, but the point is the interaction between the elements. It's a little bit like Animal Well. You have to discover yourself how these things interact with each other. I recommend you Puzzle Depot. Miriam and Lake.
You think of any?
I mean, I'm thinking about like the first time we saw someone have made a playthrough on YouTube. It's not like funny that you're laughing, but it was like really fun for us to see that someone had found our game and like taken the time to record a playthrough of it.
But the funniest bug.
Oh, was it the funniest bug?
Right? The funniest bug, right?
Yes. Back.
Oh, sorry. What was the funniest thing?
I'm just thinking of like a lot of 3D games have like funny bugs. We don't have funny bugs. At one point, I think all of the rocks, all of the little balls that you push around, like had eyes. Like they opened their eyes and started blinking. Like maybe that's like the funniest thing that happened. I don't think we had that many funny bugs.
Like
yeah,
like the little guy, purpley here at the top of the banner at the top, like closing,
Yeah,
blinking. You had eyes, but intentionally or unintentionally? You had eyes on the balls, on the circles?
yeah. That like when we introduced the eyes on the character, like everything got eyes.
Nice. nice. Well, thank you very much. That was the guest question. Now I'll ask yours in the future. I still don't know who will come. Anything else that you would like to add? Any final words? Anything you want to say? Buy my game could be something.
Yeah. That. No, I don't think so. Thank you for a cool chat. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Thank you for accepting my invitation. You are welcome anytime that you want to come, and we'll see you and find you on the 20th for Stig, and in the future with your future projects. They have to be, which my finger needs to be on camera. Needs to be a puzzle game, remember. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'll move on to my other scene here, because I would like to take my time to thank everyone. Very interesting interview. I thought it would be shorter, but I'm happy. Nothing else from me. I want to thank everyone in the chat. Thanks as well, very important, everyone watching and everyone lurking. It also counts. Trust me. I know. I can feel the difference. So thank you, everyone. And nothing else from me. I hope to see you next time. Have a beautiful and wonderful weekend. Until then, don't be puzzled. Bye bye now.